Right, so just a quick update on the knife, the Condor knife blanks that I got. One of them I have actually finished the handle on it, and the other one I've done a little bit of work on the handle, but not with putting the wood on. I'll show you in a minute. If you still want to see it, when I glue the handle on and everything, I'll show you how I do it later. I thought I'd give you an update on this one. So this is the one I've finished. The sheath isn't a finished sheath, this is just to protect the blade when I'm working on it. But it should fit all the condors, so it's a slimmer handle, I think that's slimmer than what they come if you buy one. I'm not sure what type of wood this is, but it's a nice wood. So that's that one pretty much finished. So I glued it. What I did, I'll show you on this one. Can you see those marks on there? I kind of roughed it up a bit with a Dremel, and then roughed up the inside of the scales, and then with 2-part epoxy, and then put it on the pins, put the pins in, and then glued it and clamped it together. And then when it was done, using hand tools, I shaped it and then went over it with a Dremel and then just kept sanding it, and then I put some boiled linseed oil on it. So that's that one done. Well, except for the sheath, and I might have to just clean the blade up a bit. But I quite like that. I quite like Condor bush law knives. They seem like decent knives. And even if you just buy one ready made, they're still good price really. So that's that one. Now this one, this is the one I'll show you later when I actually glue the handle on and finish it. Now I don't know if you can tell, but I've slightly changed the shape of the handle. I'll hold it here so you can see. So this back part there, I've put it more round, and then this part here I've just took it in a bit more. And I did that with just a normal bench grinder, and then I put it ground it a bit and dipped it in water, ground it a bit and dipped it in water so it didn't get hot. I quite like the shape of that one, looks slightly better. Just wanted to make it slightly different. So ground it, and then I just went over it with the Dremel just to smooth it out a bit more. So I'll show you when I do glue that one, I'll show you. Then in the meantime, for practice, what I did, I went to a shop and it had some secateurs, you know, like pruners, relatively cheap ones. So I bought some pruners just to take the blades out. I wasn't actually intending to do this, I just happened to be in town and then I saw them and I thought, oh, I'm going to buy some of them. And that's the blade when it's been took out. Now this one I have slightly modified again, but it's not much. Just here it did have a little triangle bit what stuck out, so I've just ground that off just to make it a little bit, you know, a little bit kind of smoother. And I actually did take a bit off the back, but I don't think you really need to there. And I did make a little knife out of one of them just as a practice. And that's it there. They're only one-sided, so the other side is just like that. but that should be alright for a little carving knife or whatever. Now you can see the pins, obviously they look in a weird place, but that's because I wanted to get the blade as straight as I could. So as you can see, like that. I wanted to try and get the blade as straight as I could, so it meant your tang and your pins had to end up at the front. I could have done it in the middle, but the blade would have been like that, I suppose, and I didn't want it too angled. So the only way I could do that was by having the pins right at the front. I'll explain what that is in a minute. And the way I did it, as you can see, there's another bit of wood in the middle. I was going to carve it out and like inlay it into one piece and then glue the other one on top, but in all honesty I couldn't be bothered. So what I did was I put it in like normal, but then cut another piece of wood what filled in the rest of the gap, I suppose. I did have it drawn on a bit of paper, what I could have showed you, but I don't know what I've done with that now. No. Well, in all honesty, this bit here was this was one of the scrap handles of when I'd messed up when I was trying to do the condor. I'd messed up 3 of the handles, and what I used 2 of those, and when they was on, I ended up with a hole there. So all I did was just, I was going to cut this smaller like that, but then I thought, no, I don't want the handle too small, so I just drilled right the way through and just put a dowel and epoxied that in there as well. And I suppose that would help to hold this bit of wood in as well. Not that, to be honest, once you've used epoxy, none of this stuff's coming off, I don't think, or not without a lot of bashing and banging. That's in there solid, that wood's in there solid, the blade's in there solid. So then 3 metal pins in there. It's not the greatest knife, but it's a good little bit of practice. I quite like it. Nice little, like, I suppose, neck knife, a little carving knife, and it's something you've made yourself as well, so even better then. So, got to make sheaves for these. I might show you that. I might show you making it. If not, at the very least, I'll show you it when they're done. Because to be honest, once you've made one kydex sheath, you know, you've made them all, unless you're going to really change it and make something completely different. But I'm quite happy with the way the condor came out. Oh, and in the meantime, I have got some like brass tubing now, so I can do the bottom one on the next one as a lanyard hole. So when I do this one, I'll show you the gluing and the clamping and everything. And I may show you when I finish this one off as well. And I might keep an eye out for other little blades and stuff you can use for making your own little homemade knives. Right, so that's just a little bit of an update, and cheers for watching, and I'll see you later.